This video is intended for audiences who are 13 and over. If you are not 13 and over, please fuck off and tell your parents to moderate what you watch online.
Molly, Tariq, hey.
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 I was gonna start humming lines from the opening, but
I mean, can you hum? Yeah, dubstep.
You're just gonna do the hard beat. Boy, hey. So it's not too that we literally as soon as we started recording, I forgot that we spent 3 weeks in Canada earlier.
Yeah, no, we all hung out in Canada in order to watch the episodes of Season 2 of Power Rangers Dino Fury.
I actually forgot that this due to once again the global distribution rights of Power Rangers Dino being a fucking mess. We had to spend 3 weeks in Canada for the first 3 episodes of the season before we realized that Justin Trudeau might visit an indigenous school and we should probably not be there when it happens, and go home.
All right. So I feel like in reviewing Dino Fury, we've gotta set some specifications, right? Because there's Dino Fury solely as a show, as a narrative.
Yeah.
Break it down into different categories.
I mean, I just mean in terms of yes, I just feel like the categories I'm focused on are Dino Fury as a production and Dino Fury as its own narrative, the series, the story they're trying to tell. Because it's a mess in both, but it's a mess in different ways.
But going to the Wikipedia page, look at the release date for episode 1 of season 2, March 3rd, by the way. So
yeah. I mean,
this year?
Yeah, I guess.
I see.
Boy, I forgot. Right before the second half is where they had the first half drop, right? Because they put this thing into 2 halves, because they didn't know, oh hey, what are we doing with this? How are we releasing these episodes?
I mean,
with the episodes, I feel like you can really feel the disconjunction between the first half and the other half.
Well, I'd also say is it really reminds me of in the worst way, reminds me of Saturday morning TV / cartoons of oh cool, you wake up, you watch something, and you're like, oh man, I'm so glad that I get to watch cartoons on it's the weekend, finally, and then you get a rerun and you go, oh, I've seen this episode already. And I feel like the release schedule was specifically made to allow that for them so that they could rerun multiple episodes of the season and buy themselves time and then pad out the release. But we're not in that ecosystem anymore. That is not how things are released. That's not how people consume media. So the only reason to do that, to pad that time between releases is well, we're also going to release this on broadcast on television. But if they're watching it on television, they're not watching it online because, as we know, if you want to watch it on television in different places, quote unquote, you can just travel to Canada for a few weeks, quote unquote. You can find it in other places, quote unquote. And that's the crazy thing, right? Is it was available in other places, but their whole release plan or schedule was so fucked up that it was well, the French get it this week and the Canadians get it this week, and anyway, America's the last to get that little drip of fucking Power Rangers, and it's
It's we decided that it was going to be 3 o'clock at each place, and then time zones fucked it up.
Right? It occurred to me, like, how much you think of this was due to Nickelodeon, right? Like how much of this was still being, right? Because Nickelodeon's fucking production plays that, hey, no matter what your show is, unless you're SpongeBob or whatever the fuck, you only get 22 episodes per season, right? Right? To be produced and air. So if I felt like when they were writing these episodes for season 2, they were still under like, boy, hey, has Nickelodeon replied back to us yet? Did we get the email? Hey, should we ask if we should come into the office today and hope that our access pass hasn't been revoked yet? You know, right?
Yeah.
Until Netflix came in and says that, oh, hey, no, here, we'll produce these seasons. And then they're like, oh, boy, we already wrote 22 episodes. Like, all right, well, fuck it. I mean, you already wrote 22 episodes,
like,
you know?
If... I don't know. If Crunchyroll or the rest of the world with, like, how it's doing... how we've evolved with simultaneous releases for, like, media... Like, okay, sure. It might not be dubbed within 24 hours, but it'll be at least subtitled within, like, the first, like, 20 to 30 minutes, even, for some shows. Like, for its related or corresponding time across the globe. For instance, like, a show premieres at 3 a.m. in Japan and 3 p.m. in America. Fully subtitled. Same time. How are people still thinking that it's a good, like, move to release their episode in, like, a 6-month period from the moment that when they've actually, like, finished it?
Right.
It just seems like, from a production standpoint, there's so many things that are fundamentally flawed about Dino Fury.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that's going. That's why Cosmic Fury, it's only going to be 10 episodes, and that's why they said that.
Jesus.
And unlike Dino Fury, right? They said that, oh, we're going to release all 10 episodes on one day at once, simultaneous across the world. So you don't have to worry about moving to Canada for 3 weeks to watch the show. You know?
Yeah, you don't have to get that Airbnb. It'll be fine.
I mean, you could. Canada's kind of nice, depending on where you are.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's definitely, there was like, I would say, I feel like it definitely was a lot of setbacks for production, right? Because I think they were still under the production idea of thinking the episodes were gonna air on Nickelodeon. That's why.
But I mean, I get that from. I mean, I guess I get that from the filming side. But surely there must have been, like, because surely there must have been signs of a problem before that, because we had the whole Netflix Nickelodeon, like, acquisition breakup problem
Contract.
like from, I want to say it was before we even finished season 1.
I think it was during the second half of season 1. They did the exact same thing.
Yeah. So it just feels like, you know, it feels like that they should have stopped and, like, reconsidered things. And instead they just decided to, like, throw more shit in to, like, continue to pad, because they still had, like, maybe contractually the same, like, budget.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, look. Hey, you know what? Our favorite producer is back on Twitter now. So hey.
Oh, cool.
Boy, hey, look. Before it goes out, let's send a tweet to Simon Bennett to ask him, hey, how much of this was still under Nickelodeon? You know, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Simon Bennett, why did we spend this much time on,
Nothing?
Yeah.
Right, it's been since March, right? Since we saw the first half of season 1. To the point where I'm rereading the Wikipedia entry. I was like, wait a minute, this is all just filler. This is actually filler, right? Because they didn't really pick up the plot or made a plot until we came back with like the second half.
The first like episode of the second season,
or the second half.
Second half. Yeah.
Is about like
he's about Pop-Up and his experience at Area 62.
It does. I mean, but it's so drip fed.
Oh yeah, no.
Everything
really
is like
just hand fed.
If you
do that shit,
if you paid attention to every little like
weird thing.
Yeah, like mild. Like everything that was blended together with filler, like you would go, oh, this did make sense. This was always planned, and it's like,
I mean, part of it's that there's no radiation.
Yeah,
we got no.
Yeah, no, I get that, but
other than that, it's fucking weird.
But like, is that really? Is this really like good plot building if you just...
I mean, it does imply that like Area 62 is safe. And
here's what I would say.
I mean, is it safe or the fact that a bunch of young people are trusting an old man when he says something about an area, you know, right?
Yeah, and goes, I thought I saw a ghost, but actually it was just another doctor like walking around.
Right?
Here's what I'd say.
I don't think Pop-Up is the most reliable narrator in a story, you know, right?
Dino Fury is like the reverse of like some shows where it's like they really, or it's the reverse of some shows where they really hammer down like what the reveal is going to be. Like they really don't make it subtle. Like, okay, hey, ooh boy, what's that plot point? Or like old Scooby-Doo Hanna-Barbera cartoons where it's like,
okay,
wow, that one like bush is like outlined differently than the rest of the background. Right. I sure wonder if that's gonna move or something. Like, I wonder if that's where Scooby-Doo and the gang are hiding. And it's like, oh wow, it turned out that they were there, and like you can find a pattern. This is like, it's so submerged in all of this other bullshit and random stuff that you go, I guess that's relevant. I guess this was all relevant. I guess some of this was relevant. Like, you have to go.
Right, it didn't help that the story also took a detour like when it came back. Like, hey, remember the whole story we were saying with Tariq and Santana, Void Queen, about them, right? And fucked up for like a few episodes. Hey, remember our boy Lord Zed? He's back. He's spooky. He's angry, you know?
I would say that's the other thing is, when did we get Lord Zed the first time? That's
in season 1.
Was it in season 1?
Yes.
Yeah, we got Lord Zed. Yeah, he only appeared for one episode, or I think one episode or something.
Let's see, that was it. Looking back at it.
Like, I know he showed up for one episode.
Was it before we had Ion?
Yes, I want to say so. I'm just gonna Zed. Okay, let's see. Oh, episode 14 of season 1.
Episode 14. Oh, Old
1.
Foes, yeah.
Yeah, boy, I just control F Lord Zed on right. It's like, so they just brought back Lord Zed for once. I was like, okay, cool. Here's Lord Zed. All right, nice callback. All right, cool.
Yeah.
We're done with it. Good thing we don't have to deal with him now for the rest of the
Ever
season.
again.
Right? It's like
Sure.
right, like
Sure,
you like it's like when you watch one of those shows where a character when you watch a crossover episode and they show up for one episode and then they go back to their world, right? Like I don't
Yeah.
know, like let's say two brothers, right? That goes around travel, right? And then
Yeah,
one time
they hunt down monsters.
Saving
Right, and
people, hunting things. And
That's what they do.
right, and then one time they encountered the
gotta
Scooby Doo
investigate.
gang, right?
Yeah.
And then after that episode, like, all right, Scooby Doo gang, nice meeting you. We're gonna go doing our thing, right? Right.
Yeah.
That was like how I felt with it first. I was like, all right, cool. Here's Lord Zed making a cameo appearance. All right, cool. All right, that was a fun little detour, right? And then
you're
then
here, now you're gone.
Yeah.
yeah, and then he's just back because they realized that, right? Because I felt like there was they definitely were changing stuff like halfway throughout the show, right? To the point where like, right when they had to like, hey, 30th anniversary next year, guys. What's the plan? They're like, we don't have a plan for a 30th anniversary. Quickly, right back in Lord Zed and use him as a setup for this, and then we can.
It feels like they couldn't commit to, not only who the true, villain was, but also what any of the villains, motives were. Okay, I get Zed coming back and being, vengeful, blah, blah, blah.
Power Rangers.
But, why is he showing up now, and what's his purpose in, interjecting himself in, Void Queen stuff? And...
Boy, the best part about Lord Zed is that none of this shit makes sense within the Power Rangers universe, right?
Yeah.
Right, so hey, did you guys ever watch the last episode of In Space?
That's the one where they all get blasted and turned good or whatever, right?
Yep.
I'm just saying, I only remember it specifically because in the, recap that's in Dino Fury, they go, hey, they got all of the forces that, God, I don't remember the exact prompt of it, but I remember that In Space is the last time that we have Zordon.
Mm-hmm,
and
right?
it's Zordon dies and sends... Yeah, great, awesome. But, Zordon, dies, and, the wave of good, purifies everyone, or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I remember that vaguely. And then... And, yeah, okay, yeah. And then... But then, the recap from Dino Fury actually made me go, oh, yeah, that did happen. Okay, cool. Why the fuck is Zed back?
Mm-hmm.
How is he back? What is happening? So...
Not only is he back, he's back twice.
Yeah, he's back. He's back again. Zed is back. Back to win.
Alright? The way that I interpret this isn't the original Zed, right? Like this isn't. Oh boy, that's the wrong. I was about to post that in.
You think it's not the original Zed?
Yeah, is that cardigan country
sweater vest?
Zed, right? Right, because he was brought back by some stupid necro sorcerer, right? I'm assuming this is like a Jacko and Hyde type of situation, right? Where the guy brought back the personality of Zed, right? Like all the nasty bits of Zed, like ooh, right? I got the nasty bit.
I want to believe that they don't give a shit.
Because it just doesn't make much fucking sense for how they brought back Zed, right?
I mean, it doesn't, but it's just it's already operated on such a I guess if we're really just focusing on season 2, I'll not refer to this too much, but it's hey, we're gonna also reference Ninja Steel, and also looking back at some of the episode descriptions, Beast Morphers, which I still don't want to have to watch.
Yeah, don't worry about Beast Morphers,
But it's like stuff from those series
I can't remember. Are we in the new universe? Actually, no, wait. If this is the new universe, this would probably make more sense.
But it's saying, I mean, they're trying to imply that it is, but it's like, what is the meaning? Like what is going on with this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who is supposed to be involved in this shit? Who is the villain? Who are the heroes? What is the world that we're living on? Like, there's so many different levels of, like, technology and, like, governments and, like...
Nerf guns?
Yes, and Nerf or nothing. Hasbro.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, boy.
It's just not... It's just not consistent. Bringing up Zed in this, in the context of Dino Fury, adds a whole new level of inconsistency that they didn't need to fight. Like, they were already trying to, like, keep shit together, and then they threw in Zed, and it's like,
what do we get? What you kids love Zed, you know, right?
Yeah, that's why that's why we had to censor him in Mighty Morphin and make him a weirdo.
Mm-hmm. Right. Look, we're setting him up. Right?
What do you mean kids don't like the Colossal Titan in human form?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think nobody likes the Colossal Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, it's like the whole Zed mini arc is just it's obvious that Dino only came back so he could set him up for Cosmic Fury, right? Because they're like, oh boy, they realize, oh man, hey, look, we gotta really set up next year, you know, right? Sure, why not? I mean, fine, you want to set up, sure, but don't spend up so many time with the show's actual production, right, to set it up. Like, if you made like a background plot thing, I wouldn't mind. Then they focus so much instead of focusing on the actual plot to show like, hey, what's going on with Void King and Queen, you know? I guess they're just taking a breather this week, you know, like, ooh, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about, I think, like, old school Power Rangers and whatever Dino Fury is, because it's like, it was always like, Rita Repulsa, this is my plot to destroy the Rangers this time and make my monsters grow. And even if they weren't involved in the conflict, they were standing behind, and they, as like brain dead dumb as it was, she'd be like, I want to destroy the Rangers. And then some lackey would go, well, I can do it this way.
She had a plan.
Yeah.
Or a semblance of a plan.
Yeah. And like, that plan would be relevant to the plot of the episode, or like whatever was going on in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like, even if it was like, I mean, truly like just feeding it to you, like, just, yes, we're not making it complicated, but it's like, it's Power Rangers. It's not supposed to be complex, and this is a really bad attempt at being complex. Like, oh, we're gonna leave breadcrumbs along the way. And it's like, instead of really leaving breadcrumbs, you are just, like, sporadically throwing things at us, and we don't know what the fuck we're supposed to grab.
Right.
Like, if...
It's Fruit Ninja without directions.
Yeah, I would say... Hey, here's something that we can all make a comparison to. It's Monster Hunter, but if there was literally zero plot. I'm not saying that Monster Hunter is a plot-heavy series, But it's like, hey, here's one quest. Here's a Tetranodon. Another quest. Here's a Rathalos. Another quest. Here's fucking Teostra. And it's like, okay, well, these are all very different. And then it's like, oh, anyway, then also here's a Royal Ludroth, and then also here's afflicted fucking like Rathian, and here's like an Espinos, and here's like just
and Vandal is the pregnant one.
The power levels are just all over the place, and there's no consistent reason. And at least Monster Hunter tries to make it like oh, well, this couple of monsters is like leading the monsters. Like, there's something there. This has, in the most insulting way I can mean it, Power Rangers Dino Fury has a weaker narrative than every single Monster Hunter game.
Okay.
It's so fucking, like, thin on actually creating, like, a story narrative that it's just, like, it's not criminal, but it's something that makes you go, I really hate, like, where we've gotten with this, and who, and people praising this series for being good, because I can't understand where they find value in this.
To me, like, as what you just said, it's like the destination is Atlantic City, and it's like I don't get why people think this is such a cool place.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I also had to take a dirty fucking $10 bus to get here.
Yeah. It's like...
But everyone's like, ooh, let's go!
Yeah, and again, I agree with you, but it's also like, for people that have only seen Atlantic City, it's like, hey, you know that Atlantic City is the discount version of Vegas? And also,
nope,
Vegas...
never been there.
And also, Vegas isn't great either. It turns out that they're both trash, but you think that the best thing that you like is the diluted version of trash? You're an idiot.
Right.
But yeah, hey.
I would say what this is. Let's be honest, it's never too great.
I mean, I think it's also the fact that so this is like the second season where Hasbro has full control. I think Beast Former might have still had some Saban retro guidelines they have to work around with, but I want to let you know that okay. So Saban was involved in pre-production, so they did all the filming. All right. So Saban, when Power Rangers was under Saban ever since Samurai and ever since Saban got back the rights to Power Rangers like 2009 or whatever the fuck, right? Boy, hey, the bar hasn't been set very high since then. Just to let you know, right? Right? I think when like ever since Samurai started, right? Like the production of the show has not been that very high, right? Because Saban puts in all these superficial things like, hey, you can't change the status quo, you know, right? Don't put a overarching narrative. Jimmy and Timmy and Tammy, who watches this show, don't know what an overarching narrative is, right? Whenever you start up at the beginning of episode 1, right? Make sure you end it at the ending of episode 10. You know, right? And then hey, put in some really low effort jokes because the kids love the Fortnite. They love the ninja, you know.
But
right?
It feels like it's been such a low-hanging fruit version of it, like lower than. And I'm again, I mean this as insultingly as possible. Like, Bulk and Skull, right, as comedic characters, comic relief characters, were not intelligent. They weren't putting out like deep cuts. Like, they weren't making references to like the political climate and shit. Like,
yeah.
no, but like they were slapstick, like Three Stooges level, like funny with just two guys.
Right.
This is not that. Like, I understand that I'm not a.
Oh, what do you mean? Look, you can either get Jane and Jayborg's adventure, or you get Mucus and Slater adventure, you know, right?
But it's just, that's what I'm saying, is like, I'm not a fucking, like, 5 to 10-year-old, right? But I can't imagine that this is actually entertaining to them. Like, if they really want to keep their audience, they need to make it, you know, appealing and accessible, you know? It's like when Mitt Romney got caught with like that one like that footage in like 2012 or whatever of like, fuck the poor people or whatever the fuck it was. And it's just like, oh, you just tanked your career. Like, maybe don't do so much like, I looked up things young people like, and so I just added that into my like.
What's
like
the modern
storyline.
youth?
Yeah.
Hey, look, what did Ninja say this week? You know?
Yeah. Like, it's the Steve Buscemi meme of like, hello, fellow children. Like, yeah.
You don't like everyone. You don't like the social media influencer company they work at, where they're managed by a 40-year-old woman. You know.
Again, it's just like, but the thing is, right? I think if we're really talking about Buzz Blast, it makes sense for the Rangers to, or at least some of the Rangers, to be working in like a social media company. But how many of the people that are watching Power Rangers are also watching content creators from a social media company? Like, okay, sure, there might be the, Ninja Fortnite, blah, blah, blah. But, like, they're probably not, like, if they're into Power Rangers, they're probably also not, like, into top 10 ways to dress like a fuckboy, like, videos. Or, I'm trying to think of some of these actual Buzz Blast videos. Like, there was, like, a glow-in-the-dark, like, lipstick thing. Like,
15 designs of makeup for prom?
Yeah, weird things that, like, they're focusing on people that are, they're focusing on young adults working at a social media company marketed to teenagers in a series that is marketed to children.
Right.
Like, it's so many degrees of detached from its actual market audience that it's like, this is not, like, you're so detached at this point. You know,
you're trying to check off too many things, right? Right, and you're missing and you realize, oh boy, hey, You checked up a lot of things. This is an incomplete form, by the way. Please, please redo this.
You
form,
can't. You literally can't fill in all of the race boxes on your application to college. I understand that you, like, okay, yes, we are all one diaspora of people, and we do all come from, like, Pangea, but you can't mark off, like, yes, you clearly blonde hair, blue-eyed child. You cannot fill in, I'm black, Asian, African American, Native American, indigenous, like African, like Indian, Southeast Asian, South American, Chilean. Like, you can't fill it. You can't hit all of these marks. You just need to stop while you're behind. Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, they decided to just double down. It's a series that did do some things that were, for the franchise, fundamentally revolutionary.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that they did it in such a poorly handled way that it reduces the value that they added. Like, I think there's a genuine value to, like, the Izzy Fern relationship of, like, great, we got, like, a queer relationship in Power Rangers. Awesome. We've gotten multiple people of color. Like, honestly, Amelia is the only white person in the whole, like, team.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's great that we have that, but, like, if so many of the characters are unbalanced and, like, not good.
What do you mean? You're saying that there aren't good written characters within this bunch of groups?
This group of fucking, like, absolute psychopaths. And people that are
them to actually be people.
And yeah, people that are trying to actively destroy their friend group. Their forced friend group that was made only because they found a fucking magic watch. But, like, now we're just, like, doubling down and going, yeah, no, we're gonna make them all hang out with each other, and in some cases, they're gonna have a relationship with each other, even though they're clearly incompatible.
I mean, if anything, it's the villains, Void Knight and Void Queen, are both white.
No, they're slug people. They're white slugs.
Well, you were talking.
They're not white people, they're white slugs.
They're not albino, which is less cool. It would have been fun if they had been there.
They're albino slugs.
Probably.
Are there?
Well, time to look up albino slugs.
Oh boy, I was gonna say, can you just look up white slug and it'll be the exact same
thing? White slugs are just gonna give me fucking Amelia and her two bad parents.
Boy. Alright, is that enough on the... Anything else you guys want to say about the plot?
I mean, so far, yeah.
It's pretty much bad until, like, the end when it got interesting, but it's still not
and
great.
they actually revealed something.
Right? Because that was the problem, yeah, because the pacing of the season was off-hinge, right? It didn't make sense with what they were trying to do, right? Because when they came back, start of season 1, all the way back to season, right, they at least tried to establish a plot. Hey, look, Void Knight. Look, Void Knight's still trying to get some more juice to put into his test tube, into his little jar, you know, into his little mason jar.
I found albino slugs.
Okay.
Yep.
They're Welsh. They're Welsh slugs.
Of course. Well, the Welsh would have the whitest slugs.
I can't do a Welsh accent, so I'm not gonna do it.
Second.
Boy, these look really fucking weird. Wait. Huh.
Uh-oh. Are they Wiglets?
Oh boy. Yeah.
Probably.
They're Wiglets.
Yeah, but no, this show just had a bad pacing. In fact, that they just didn't know what their direction was until the last minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
With what they actually wanted to do. It's when they were like, okay, good. We got, okay, look, we set up Lord Zed, alright. Right? I feel like the whole Zed thing was extremely forced to put into the show. Right? Because they're like, oh man, boy, hey, look, Cosmic Fury coming out next year, right? It's gonna be great. 10 episodes, we're gonna be like a real TV show. Then people will think we're real because we're only releasing 10 episodes, The Mandalorian released 10 episodes.
Yeah, we're doing this in batches.
I feel like they wrote it backwards. Like, they went, okay, the end point is this.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do?
Mm-hmm.
How do we get there? And that's the story that they made.
I think that actually explains a lot, if you think about it.
Now we're here.
Like, we knew that if you think about it, of the conflict is specifically between Tariq and Centaura / Void Knight's King versus Void Queen, and like their lost child.
Now they're having another one, and that raises questions. But
yeah, but like the idea that for them to reach the end conclusion was like getting to
like
a focus on that, and then it was like okay, they came from an alien planet. We're gonna include all this stuff from the beginning and work our way back up to it, and we're just gonna slowly give all of these other characters personality traits that we just add on along the way.
Mm-hmm.
If we weave for both ends, we'll meet in the middle. Nobody said the weaving was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like they definitely had the show written out, and then they realized, oh boy, hey, we only wrote 19 episodes. We still need 3 more episodes up. Quickly, what's George doing during this time,
But the thing is, there were episodes like Izzy and Fern's prom date, where it's like, okay, so we made a filler episode, fine, but we made all of this stuff that was about the personal drama, and we didn't do anything to attach the overarching sort of Power Ranger tokusatsu aspect to it. The
most way that they attached it was just going, I'm a ranger.
And then, oh no, I have to I have to split my time with it. But it's usually it'd be, oh no, I have to go to the dance, and then suddenly the monster that controls
things,
party favors or confetti shows up, and they have to destroy it because it's possessing all the kids that are on the prom committee or something.
Or literally it's prom and the monster shows up and it's just
but this was just
down.
In a parallel sense, we are dealing with this, and then also there's some other stuff happening with our own personal lives.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, here we are, Power Rangers Dino Fury.
Part 2 of Season 2.
Yeah, Part 2 of Season 2. Season 2, fully loaded, by which I mean loaded up on fucking alcohol boofs up the ass.
Mm-hmm.
What about jump ropes?
Oh boy, hey, well.
No. We don't need to talk about the jump rope man.
USB?
What he did was a crime.
USB cables? That's not
Alright, you
bad.
guys want to talk about the characters now?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, we got like 6, 7, 8. Let's see. We got the 6 Rangers. 5 don't really consider Solon a character. The Voidy.
I would say Solon is one of the more... Well, I think it's
Solon
also...
doesn't change as a character.
Well, she doesn't change, but
I mean, she... Mm-hmm.
I think it's in this season when we get the point where they all just, like, shit on Solon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, well, alright, that seems...
necessary.
Yeah. Solon is just such a... Like, she's trying her best.
Mm-hmm.
And then the way that she's treated as a character is just so fucked up. But,
again, we get to the point where, like, the base is imploded and she's just like, I'm on
oh
the
no,
floor.
a
And
drill
she's
Well,
like,
hey,
burst
remember when
through it.
Solon got
nobody's helping
assaulted
me.
in her house?
Yeah.
Right? Right, and then they just said, like, oh, yeah, hey, boy, no time for that. So, boys, hey, listen, you might be bleeding, and you might have some broken bones, but hey, drink some of that orange juice. We got guests over, you know, right?
Don't worry, you're the Robo Dino. You
That's right,
can't
clean up that
bleed.
blood, you know?
Yeah.
Right? Like, mop it up.
Yeah.
We don't want the Ravkonian think we're a bunch of slobs, you know?
Get back
right?
to work, Dino Slave.
Right? It's just like Solon's character really just didn't serve as anything, because she's supposed to be the stupid mentor character that every
Yeah, but she
Power
is
Ranger...
not the mentor / leader, like, character that, like... I mean, she's not even, like Alpha 5 or whatever, like, level of, like... Oh,
She's just a
I'm funny and, like, a
supplementary
comic
nurse.
relief character. Ay. Like, it's like, no, she's...
A supplementary nurse,
Yeah.
basically.
Mm-hmm.
/
Like,
caretaker.
ooh,
Honestly, she's the
I know
caretaker.
how to rule, like, the other, like, sending the things out, but I'm just a supplementary nurse caretaker.
But yeah, at least we got some power-ups, and we got some things with the characters, but...
You know who went through a real change? Amelia.
Yeah! When you go from human to slug person, that's a real rough trip.
When you go from adopted to alien.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Right.
secret, Cap. You've always
always
been
an alien.
you've always been an alien. A legal alien. Oh no, please, no. I don't want to be inside a slug person. I'm racist against slug people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was just exist as a background character this entire episode too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It was really just how someone really didn't end up doing much for this show. I think she did. I mean, there's like one episode where they learned out the cave, like, oh hey, so you get to go out, you know. Oh boy, hey, enjoy. Look, this is your one chance of getting sunlight for the year, you know, right? Better make the most out of it, right? I think she did like way more stuff in season 1, if anything, in comparison to this season, what they did with her, right?
Yeah, but that still wasn't very much.
Oh look. Look, it's just a gradual getting you know, right?
I mean, Izzy's developments are revealing her gay ass to be.
Okay, we want to talk about Izzy now? Alright, here, we can go into Izzy. Alright.
Yeah,
Alright, Molly,
just-
you can go on your Izzy rant now. Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, she's fine. She's not actually that interesting of a person. All she has is athletics and her Asian girlfriend. But, sure, she's trying. She makes funny remarks, I guess. That's her job. Like, overall, all of them, you got, like, Amelia, the girly one. Ollie, the techie one. Izzy, the athletic one.
Mm-hmm.
Javi, the musical one. Zato, the cool one. And Ion
Boy, are we
is trying his
was that
best.
really how we describing Zato, the cool one?
I
got
know.
a lot to say about Zato by the end
Oh, I
of
bet.
this.
Let's go.
Oh boy. Okay. I mean, yeah. So, is it? I mean,
There's just not much to say about any of them, to an extent.
Oh boy, I mean, we can say a lot about Ollie, you know, right?
He's the special.
Mhm.
Somehow
Right.
has a girlfriend, even though he's a contrary asshole.
Oh boy, hey, look, Ollie was not a good character. He was probably like the worst character. I think he's like one of the worst characters I've seen in a while in Power Rangers. I've seen all of them.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, Ion is worse, but like, yeah, Ollie's not good.
I mean, Ollie's worse because he doesn't know about our culture world, right? Like he's a
I mean,
smuggler,
also
like,
he just doesn't have any kind of just sense of anything,
But,
whether it's like spatial or.
Like, even since season 1, it's established that Ollie has been, like, how Tariq has been saying, like, hey, he's a guy that watches Rick and Morty, and think Rick is the smartest character in the world, unironically.
Yeah. And he thinks that he's the only one who understands it, and thinks he's so much better because of it.
Right? And he's just, like, a terrible character throughout the entire show, with how he portrays. I was like, boy, man,
And he's an asshole who hangs out with his mom.
Right? Especially, it's also like, he's like, as soon as he gets a girlfriend, he thinks he's too cool for his mom. That's like, oh man, I can't let everyone know that I still hang out with my mom now that I have a girlfriend.
Oh,
right?
no.
Like,
there are two women in my life.
like, Ollie
I don't know what to do.
A terrible character because he's so condescending by everything, right? Especially the episode when he and Amelia gets together, right? Because it was like the worst progression I've ever seen. Because like I think it was the episode when he sees the folders, like, oh, like, hey, nice folder, nerds. What you got there? Your missing parents' information. And she's like, yes.
Right? Oh, that folder. What is that folder? Your parents? It's like, yeah, actually, I don't know them and have been trying to find them. But...
And then by the next episode, he's like, oh yeah, no on. He's like, oh man, no, I've always cared, you know? I've always been supporting you, right? Like, he's just overall a really bad character in the show.
He's absolutely also definitely like a nice guy. Like, the kind of guy that, like, you go on a date with who, like, talk to them, they're like, I don't care about pets, I don't care about family, I don't care about the color green, and then like you go on a physical date with them and they're like, oh my god, I love the color green. Oh, you have pets? What kind of pets do you have? Tell me about your family. And it's like, dude, I know you're bullshitting me.
Right? Like, yeah, he's
I know you
really
do not
bad.
care.
Like that was like one of the like the fact that the worst part is like how those episodes were set up, right? Like those episodes were back to back on how it aired. So like we literally ended with the episode with like that entire episode with Ollie being condescending, just to have the next episode be like, oh no. What do you mean, Amelia? What do you mean? Yeah, I've always liked you, you know, right? You know all those times I called you names and pushed you down, right?
And
told you that
insulted you. And
right? That was
the things
me.
you
That was me
believe
being
in.
flirty, right? That was me being flirty
that's how
to you.
flirting works. You just
right?
shit on the other person's things.
Did you not get all my hints and everything?
I don't like
you know?
Gundam. Your Gunpla's stupid.
All right, well, let's not.
I want to melt in
Okay,
first.
all right, let's not be sacrilegious here.
Just some stupid shit.
Yeah, stupid shit like saying that Gundam sucks.
You know I didn't mean it.
I know.
I was waiting to see what they're gonna. But yeah, hey, Ollie, bad character, all right?
Yeah, we're talking about how Ollie shit.
No, Ollie is the worst. He's not a good person. He's not a good character.
I can't believe they wrote a
you
character
like
that. They made like almost no redeeming quality throughout the entire show. Like, cause everything he did is like he had to be taught, right?
I mean, let's be honest. Amelia's his redeeming quality.
I mean,
they have to be grouped in with Amelia's the first part.
Yeah, Amelia liking him is his redeeming quality. Like,
and that's not even that much.
Amelia and his mom are his redeeming quality. Like, other people make him redeemable.
But he's the kind of guy who sits there and recounts it episode of Rick and Morty to his mom, but explains all the things.
If Ollie said, like, some weird shit about, like, again, this is, like, really throwing heavy shit on Power Rangers, but still, if they did this, it would make it better. That said, if Ollie was like, listen, I don't know how to, like, my parents were divorced, or my dad died, or something. I've never known a healthy, like, I didn't know, I don't know how to talk to girls. Like, I don't know how to talk to girls other than my mom.
I don't know how to be a real boy.
I'm sorry if I come off weird. Like, if he actually had a moment of vulnerability, but he's always come off as, like, an asshole. And so it's like, how are we supposed to care about this character? Like, why?
Right. Right, yeah. Like, the fact that his character has, like, no actual character growth, like his personality and demeanor is literally the same as it was in season 1, right? And even though they literally have, like, 2 episodes dedicated to him, where he's like, say, hey, you can stop being an asshole, Ollie, you know? Your teacher fucking told you you're an asshole, you know?
Yeah. Stop being an asshole.
The fact that even by season 2 was happening, right? He was still just being a fucking asshole to everyone.
By some magic reason, Amelia likes you.
Yeah.
Even though
by the
you're
magic
asshole.
reason of, honestly, you both being young and her not knowing better, truly. Like,
Y'all gonna last like 3 months.
like, Amelia could do better. It's unfortunate to say, because Amelia's weird in her own right, but she deserves better than, like, Ollie.
And she doesn't deserve a boyfriend who shits on her hobbies.
Yeah, like, passively. Just, like, passive-aggressive, like...
If you
okay.
constantly told me, like, you should stop smoking, you're stupid.
Yes, we know about this. Yes, this we know.
Or stop drawing. It's dumb. You're not getting anywhere.
Oh, yeah, because I'm gonna give you shit about drawing.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just equating really stupid things.
Like Gunpla, right? Like Gundams, right, Molly?
Yeah, if I was just like,
Hey,
Gunpla
Austin.
choice is stupid.
Hey, y'all keep talking like that. You might...
We're all gonna get burned.
Wind up not being able to talk. Okay?
Oh.
Alright?
What are you
Alright?
gonna do?
I'll do
Mess
what
up
I...
my job?
I'll do what I need
Stop
to
me
do.
from talking?
I'll do what my love, my anger, and all of my sorrow will tell me to do. Okay?
Hey, this is all being audio recorded. This sounds like recorded evidence.
Most
It
ways
sure-
of making me
it
not
sure-
talk
Look,
sound
look.
problematic for you as well.
Oh, you don't want a ball gag in your mouth?
We don't even own one.
You don't know that. All you need is a
Are
tennis
you
ball
hiding
and a
something?
piece of rope.
No. Sometimes all you need is a jump rope. 7.5 feet.
Listen, that 79-year-old Japanese man did what he did to his penis. Okay? That's what happens. Alright? You don't put jump rope in your penis.
Into your bladder. So far up your penis into your bladder.
Yep. Anyway, hey. This is a show. It was a hot mess.
Yeah. Right? Alright, who's next? Oh, wait, Harvey, alright. Alright, I guess we're just gonna go down the character line. I don't really have much to say about Harvey.
Javi did nothing. Javi did
If
nothing.
anything, he's the funny one. Or he
Right?
thinks he's the funny one.
Yeah,
The rest
but
is-
like,
Like he had like I think like he only had like one episode this season that was dedicated to him, and that was the entire.
I would say Javi is the funny one in the most relative scale of, like, I guess because he was kind of like the least intelligent, quote unquote, but it's like,
That's not.
I mean, he was also like the least uninteresting. Like, not counting Zato and Ion, who I think are one of the weakest part of the show in terms of character. Like, he didn't really have much character growth. Right?
Yeah.
Like, outside of that episode where he did the monkey paw, like, hey, get me those 1 million views. Let me, hey, you know, right? And then he learned his lesson about, like, hey, wow, maybe I should put my family before my,
yeah, maybe
my
I shouldn't
internet.
have bought all those Russian bots to, like, follow my Instagram.
Right? Like, his character pretty much remained constant. Like, he does get better, right, as a character.
But Javi wasn't really doing anything wrong beforehand. Like, Javi honestly is probably the most tragic character of the team.
He went from being there to being kind of a person.
I'm just saying, between Javi and Amelia, like, they're both two characters that are, like, yeah, they're passionate about their things, and, like, certain people in their lives, like, don't really, don't take them seriously. But it's like, but they just, like, stick with their past that they chose.
Yeah.
But, like, in Javi's case, it's like, it doesn't change him. Like, Amelia, yeah, I mean, she, honestly, of all the Rangers, goes through the most fucking, like, change for slug reasons.
Like, quite literally.
But, like, Javi is, like, I'm just here and trying to, like, make it through, like, the next paycheck.
Right?
And Izzy is a fucking, like, high school kid.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
It's just between the two, it's like, they are who they are, and this is how they be.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they don't... I mean, Izzy does get her own character arc with Ferd and everything about their relationship. But, like, Holly just doesn't have much growth throughout the show that much.
Yeah, there's...
But is that much of a character arc between her and Fern? Like, aside from the fact that it's like, wow, I told my girlfriend the truth.
Look, the high school. Look. They came in and applied for credit yet, all right? They're learning a lot.
I would say that Izzy gets points for actually, like, the whole arc with Fern and actually, like, talking with her about it. But
that shouldn't be points that have to be given.
Yeah, it's so, like, basic that it's hard to, like, give credit to it.
Right.
Who else do we have?
Let's see. There's still. Amelia? Because I really want to say Zato and I, because I'm just gonna group both of them together at the end, right? Right? Because Amelia's definitely the character that actually has, like, an actual arc throughout the entire show that they set up for her.
I would say we should discuss Zato and Ion first or before, and then we leave Amelia for the end, because Amelia, I think, is actually the surprise protagonist of this.
Yeah, the most
series.
interesting character throughout the show.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Zato.
Yeah.
Alright, so if you want to do Zato, sure. Hey, they're definitely the two most blandest character in the entire show. Zato's actually, like, such a bland leader, right?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even do anything. He's supposed to be like, it's like oh, hey, look, check it out, we're the legendary knights, or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't.
Do you think you'd be if you were 200,000 million years old?
Oh boy,
but he's not like funny alien like E.T., where it's like,
he's not 100 million years old.
I'm just saying. We don't know that.
Modern lingo of the kids. You know,
he's like,
hey,
what is this? Like, there's not a whole, like, arc of, like, him going, oh, you've got one of these strange earthling, like, candies. Like, there's...
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, his world and this world are, like, different, like, dollhouse sets.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Ion and Zato are...
Rapco was a completely new environment we have never seen before. It was an alien world, you know.
Yeah,
right?
Alien New Zealand. A planet called Zealand.
alien hills and alien grass and
But like,
Mm-hmm. All right, and they were breathing that alien Ravcon air, right?
yeah, that
again 2 different dollhouses,
non-Rafconians could
different
breathe.
settings, easily movable.
Yeah, like Zeta was just such a like he never took any initiative as a leader, right? He did leader stuff like, all right, gang, let's go.
Yeah,
right?
I
But
mean,
he never actively.
I would also say he did
off to do it
try to
himself,
reach
like-
out to Rafcon, but that clearly blew up in his face, and then it was just like he never truly addressed that of like, oh, I feel really bad. Like he had.
Like, what has he been doing about around the fucking base for the past goddamn several years?
Well, he's been frozen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean the years and time that he's awake and everyone else is.
I don't know that it was years that they've been awake. It only feels like years for the rest of us because of the fucking production cycle.
I guess so.
Now, all this takes place over the course of a school year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There is a school year. Definitely.
I mean, there is. I mean, Izzy
Only
graduated?
Izzy is allowed to be in a school year.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then Ion is almost the same. I mean, like I think they did all of his character stuff in season 1. So this season, he really also didn't have much to do either in terms of being a character, right? Because we had those 2 episodes in season 1 where he was like, oh, hey, ice cream day for me, or hey, I got money. I understand the value of Earth money, right?
I mean,
like,
he
I think
likes attention. He just is not the smartest about it. He's like, give me attention. Listen to me. Oh, I don't know what I was saying. I'm gonna sit down now.
Right, but like season 2, like they didn't really do much with his character either, right? I'm going through the Wikipedia article again. I remember like all the part 1 parts, right? And like the only time he actually had an episode was that he met the hacker girl, and that wasn't due to his own fruition of anything, like any development. He just said, "Hey, stop that! You're a small child. Stop doing that, right?" Like it wasn't anything for him to also learn a lesson from interacting with the character with that stupid hacker girl child, right? Like it didn't grow any. It just happened to be him. He just happened to be there at that exact moment,
Yeah.
right? To interact to the point where you probably could have just put Ion, Izzy, or like literally any other character there, right, to figure it out, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're Ion and Zato are.
Oh wait, hold on, wait. The money episode was this season. Never mind. Okay. Oh wait. Oh, what the fuck is? Okay. Never
Ion
mind.
and Zato are characters that are present, but just honestly, it's bad to say that Zato adds less to the plot than Ion.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ion, at least, is like a chaotic fucking force.
It's at least an idiotic problem.
Yeah, but Zato is just like here as like the Captain America like Boy Scout like character of just like, yes, I'm here and I'm a good person and I'm not going to do anything, and like there's no point where it's like there's a plot of like Zato tries to go out and like order food or meets a girl or like has to learn about like the money or tries to get a job. Like Zato isn't developed as a character. He's
Just
just
to get a girlfriend, boyfriend,
Whatever.
friend.
Slug
He's
friend,
outside
you
the
know?
earth.
yeah,
Hey,
any
give
friend.
Give him a pet dog. You know, right?
Yeah, he's just
Or a
left.
cat. Or a llama. Probably a llama, given
He's
this show.
just left alone. Like, there's no other, like, there's not even, like, a point between him and Solon where it's like, hey, Solon, so why did you keep me alive for all this time? And there's no, that would be a great point to, like, expand on both characters, both Solon and Zato. Like, okay, maybe there's, like, a parental thing, or, like, oh, Solon was created to protect Zato. But none of that is ever brought up. None of that is ever made clear or included or whatever. So, you know, what's going on with them? The slug people are the worst, which leads us into the slug person that's the best, surprisingly,
right?
Amelia.
Because all the character development the show ended up going to her, which I wasn't expecting, right? Because they set up her parents, right? But I just thought, like, okay, cool, she has missing parents, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Throughout the entire day, it turns out, like, oh, no, it's all connected, you know, right? Pop has been lying. I mean, he hasn't been lying. He just wasn't telling you the full truth of how he found you. He got you in a wall, you know.
He's been lying
right?
by omission.
Like your
When I was
parents,
a kid,
your parents
used to yell at me.
Your parents were lost in a fire. It just happens to be a fire that was at a military base
That
because
I was
they were kept
working
as
as a
captives.
janitor, and I had full clearance access for some reason.
And I'm not
you know?
actually your parent,
right? Boy, the more I think about Paul, the more crazy how I think him as a janitor, how much access he actually had, right? Like, wait a minute, like this is a guy that should not be in this room. I don't care if there's a spell. He is not supposed to be in this room. This is a room for eyes only, you know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Minim's character was definitely the most interesting to me throughout the show, right? Especially towards the end when we find out the big secret, the big reveal, you know,
Yeah,
right?
that she's a slug girl.
Right?
I will say, looking back at, like, the beginning of this show, which is about Amelia meeting Ollie, but, like, it does technically start with Amelia. I can understand this show better with the framing of Amelia being the main character, the actual main character. But the problem is that the show doesn't
Definitely shoves her out of the light.
Yeah, it doesn't do enough to actually frame her as the main character. Like,
and your 14-year-old girlfriend is carrying you around because you're a big plastic model.
I'm just saying, she doesn't need to be the Red Ranger, but you need to give her, as a person, more focus and stuff to actually talk about it. Like you can't just expect people to interpret it this way, interpret it in, like, a positive way with a franchise like Power Rangers. It's not, in my mind, supposed to be a fucking, like, critically thinking, like, heavy series. It's just fucking, like, it's tokusatsu, it's fucking people in suits. But if you want to include, like, heavier, like, concepts, don't be, like, dense about it, just fucking say it. But they don't do that. They keep just, like, dancing around a bunch of things and creating, like, a really broad sense of, like, plot to the point that, like, the narrative keeps circling around itself, and it's like, well, what are the Void Knights doing? It's like, well, we're not talking about the Void Knights. Oh, okay. So, there's the Sporks. Oh, the Sporks are bad. It's like, oh, Zed showed up. Oh, okay, Zed. Oh, that's a problem. It's like, can we deal with one fucking problem before we move on to the next one?
No! Sorry, that was loud.
No, that's fine.
But I thought it was reasonable. Because with this show, every episode, we don't really resolve the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that's how we get the end of a season that is quote-unquote complete, but feels real empty.
Yeah. I mean, it is... I think that's accurate.
It's the bag of chips that you question why they're only half full.
It's the bag of chips that you scarf through and go, I'm still hungry afterwards. I know that I ate food, but it gave me absolutely no nutritional or, like, appetite sustenance. Like, this definitely happened, and I consumed it, but I feel almost no change in how I felt before this.
Right. Boy, hey, you guys want to talk about Void King? Alright, before we finish off, right? Hey, look, let's might as well get the villains out the way. We already talked enough about Zed.
Yeah.
I think we somewhat covered about the Void family.
Yeah.
The Voidies are fun.
Yeah.
Right? I
Okay,
mean,
can we
the
talk
only
about
problem throughout the show, right, with them is that Tariq, Void Knight, whatever the fuck, definitely had a thing that was going for him until he got whipped again, and then...
Yeah.
And then it just stopped right there, and then they also got written out for like 5 episodes because we had to focus on what the fuck Lord Zed was doing.
Yep.
Right, until the point where they had to become relevant again, which was a big downside. Like the whole, like, oh boy, hey look, oh man, Void Knight's a good guy. He's gonna reveal to us all the details, you know. He's gonna meet us at this building on this day. We gotta make sure he arrives to that building and that nothing happens to him along the way. You know, before he tell us who shot JFK, you know, right? He knows, he has all the details, right? I hope nothing bad happens to him before he gets a chance to reveal everything to us. You know?
What a risk.
Right, yeah, like, it's definitely, like, I think their motives were really out of, Void Knight and Tariq's plan was simple. Hey, I need the energy to bring back my wife who's stuck in this test tube. I don't know. I don't believe in nuclear energy, and fossil fuel is out of date for me. You know, right? There's no EV
what's better
station.
energy than all of that? A child's memories.
Right? There's no Tesla stations near me for you to plug this thing to charge her. You know, right? Right, so his motto was pretty clear. And then I really didn't understand Void Queen's entire plot until the end where she said it was her plot. I didn't know what she was doing after.
Yeah, I'm raging over my dead child, despite the fact that...
I'll never tell you that.
I'm raging over my potentially dead child, even though my husband and I clearly made a misstep in taking our newborn child on an interplanetary exploration.
Again, why would you do that?
I mean, the plot of Void Queen doing all this it's also very bad because it wasn't probably... I mean, we saw her throughout the show making hits, like, referring to all the sports as her child, but I thought, like, okay, yeah, sure, she's just referring to things as like, you're not supposed to take away anything from her.
Yeah, right.
At that point, should we talk about Void Baby 1.2?
Oh, what? Mucus? Scyther? Wreckmate?
2.0?
What's
Oh.
2.0?
No, the one that they have.
Oh, the
and they're
final
arguing
one?
about
The final
fucking
battle?
colors.
The one with the exposed, like, chest musculature?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're talking about? The one that Void Queen was inside of.
No, I mean the Void Child.
Oh, when she actually gets
The one
pregnant
that
again?
Amelia walks up to, touches her stomach, and goes, "No, the baby wants like forest green."
Yeah, you know, babies. The thing that knows concept.
Amelia?
Amelia walks up to the child.
No. When she gets pregnant again. Yeah.
Yeah, so the Void Child... Oh, you mean the child that's unborn?
Yes.
Okay. I thought you were saying that another
Unborn
child, like,
child of
walked
the
up and,
void.
like... Yeah, uh-huh. Look, slug people got a slug. They're slugging out.
Mm-hmm.
They're slugging inside of each other.
Yeah.
They're just going like, look, Void Daddy, slug inside me. Slug all over my face.
Mm-hmm. I would have liked Void Queen's entire if it was more defined and clear, right? Because we all know that throughout the show they kept saying, well, we need Sporex energy, but it was only clear when Void Knight was going to bring back his dead wife, and then after that, like, all right, cool.
And I was like,
Okay,
cool.
okay,
Alright, that's why.
All right, you got her back. I guess you don't need void energy. You don't need
And then
Sporak
she
energy.
came back and was like,
you-
I have an incredible hate boner for everyone.
Yeah, right? Like, look, you use up all your money to bring back your wife. We'll just take the surplus, and everything. And then we say, no. I need this money. No. I'm using there's no surplus. All that money's being used, right? It's like they definitely had an interesting reveal by the end of what they were in relation to Amelia and everything, but their entire plot throughout the show was absolutely non-explained to the point where I was like, right? Like I didn't even know that Voight was building a giant energy cocoon until the episode where she built an actual Iron Jenny. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, there were no plans until there were plans.
Right? It's just like really like we know that they need Sporax, but what do you guys need this for? Right? It makes no sense on why you need these Sporax energy ball energy for, right? And that was the problem with them as characters. Like their entire character review at the end was pretty cool. Like, all right, cool. I guess so. Hey, look, they're not that. I mean, they might be evil. They might have tried to drown an entire city, but hey, that's what a parent's love does, right? Should have raised their Sporax children better than that, or whatever, right? Mucus exists.
Yep.
Throughout the show. Yeah. That's all I gotta say about Mucus. Mucus exists purely to just exist. Right? Wreckmate was definitely the best character that came out of the three, right? Scyther was just a guy that was definitely hosting an siphoning, stealing office supply the entire time in the background.
I'm not entirely sure that he wasn't Pennywise.
Mm-hmm. Look, I'm convinced that
underground circus and shit.
Scyther's the type of guy that when he has a job, he would hire some person in another country to do his job and pay him less than what he's being paid for. He's that type of guy. That's the energy that Scyther gives off, but Wreckmate was definitely the best character for me throughout the entire show. He's just a guy that likes to make his stupid pirate puns, and that's it, right? He's just like, yo hoy, look, I saw the Pirates of the Caribbean movie last week. This Johnny Depp guy's a great guy. Right? Yeah, they should have kept Wreckmate. Alright? Right, any other characters we need to discuss? Do we want to talk about Jane and Jayborg and how they should probably be in jail for creating an unsafe, toxic workplace environment?
Probably, but everyone's having too much fun to actually call her out on it.
Oh boy, are they? It looks like she is holding everyone at gun. She is holding everyone's paycheck at any time in that office. There's too many people working at Buzz Blast for that to be a sustainable company. All right. Right, whatever.
Based on who we know has been there, we don't know if they're fucking working for them at Buzz Blast.
Oh, that is true. Boy, I forgot that apparently anyone could walk into Buzz Blast, right?
Just hang out.
Here's the park ranger. The park ranger's in charge is at Buzz Blast. Let's see what Park Warden Garcia has to say at Buzz Blast, right? The park is...
Hello.
Mm-hmm. Right? But yeah, Jane and Jayborg were... I guess Jayborg was supposed to be a funny robot character. Jayborg is what Zato should have been, right? Trying to learn about the human world, right? Because they obviously kept trying to show Jayborg stuff about you. Like, Jayborg, check this out. It's a non-distinct Nerf gun, right? Check this out. There's ice cream. You ever had ice cream before, Jayborg? Right? And then Jane is a character that definitely does not pay taxes and pays her employee and has a shell company out in the Bahamas, right?
Part of me is wondering if her daddy pays for it.
Oh boy, hey look, Jane is on that FTX train, right? She believes in the future of FTX. She has put all of her employees' paycheck. She promised her employee, hey, look, instead of me giving you a paycheck this week, I'm gonna pay you in FTX bucks. Right? The cryptocurrency of the future. Matt Damon himself said FTX is the cryptocurrency of the future.
Ooh,
Right?
boy.
Hey, look, Tom Brady would never lie to you about crypto. Right? All right. Any other characters we forgot to bring about or talk about, or I
don't
think we
think
cover.
so. I mean,
Yeah,
unless you really want to talk about the warden for no reason.
Oh, no, look. That character has too much power, and it's really due to the fact that they didn't want to write another character into the show to give any power, right? So they're like, oh boy, look, we're just gonna give all the responsibility to the park warden and to the mayor that we're gonna name off screen and never bring up again. Right?
Yep.
All right. Do we want to give a final rating to this season overall?
My gut wants to say 3 out of 10, but I'll go with 7.
Oh wow, man, boy, that's a big contrasting difference. I think if I were to give this, I think the problem is definitely this Lord Zed subplot that they introduced that took away from the show because it was an obvious show to set up for Cosmic Fury, right? I think if the show didn't have the Lord Zed subplot, the show would have been paced way better because we did lose like 3 whole episodes being dedicated.
Like if they
being
made
dedicated.
either an extended season or didn't have that,
or
it'd be fine.
do like it just have it like as or release as a completely separate OVA mini series that was in rotation with these episodes, right? Like you could just take out like if they just released the Lord Zed subplot and gave it its own like mini arc. Releasing like a side media video, I would have been way more generous to the scene. But the fact that Lord Zed actually ruined the pacing of the show, especially when we came back out of the break, out of the 6 months delay of going to Canada and like, boy, imagine moving to Canada to watch Dino Fury just to see Lord Zed show up, right? Because the way that last, or at least
and
part
waste your
one,
time, yeah.
right? The way that part 1 ended was Void King coming back saying, "Oh no, I'm taking back Void King." You know that relationship you guys just developed with him. Oh no, it's no longer gone. I'm whipping him back into shape. And then just for the next, and they're like, "Oh man, that's a good that like." From a production, that's actually a good way to end a part 1 of a story. Like, okay, you established something and now you're destroying it just to completely introduce a new concept. As soon as you come like, oh boy, hey, I guess we're not focusing on what we established with these characters before we went on break. That's really annoying, right? I would probably give this season. I think if the Lord Zed stuff wasn't here, I would give it a 6. But the fact that the Lord Zed is actually just unneededly introduced within this fucking season, just as a stupid shill for Cosmic Fury, and that we gotta set up like, oh yeah, it just makes the season completely feel invalidated overall because nothing matters because Lord Zed is the big threat now, right? It's like when the Avengers movie, like, oh boy, Loki is showing up, right? It's like the Avengers movie where they show Loki, it's like, oh man, Loki's a pretty intimidating guy. And then Thanos shows like, oh fuck, no one gives a fuck about Loki now. Why the fuck does Loki matter, right? Why should I care about what Loki's doing? You showed us Thanos. Like, I don't care anymore about Loki.
Yeah, that's
right?
unimportant right now.
Right, like Loki's even like not a big one. You fucking showed us Thanos. Like, oh, I don't care anymore about what Loki's stupid plan is to do with the stupid space cube opening up where the fuck anymore. Right? It's just like that. So I'll give this season a 5 out of 10. Right? And Tariq can say his point now.
I'll be honest, he could if he was conscious.
Oh boy, did he die?
Yes.
Jeez. Okay. Well, there we go. It killed Tariq. I guess that's his rating of this. Yep. Okay. All right.
The
all right.
of the show killed him.
All right. Anything else you want to say, Molly? Before we head out.
If you randomly heard him yell hello earlier, that's because I poked him enough.
Oh Okay.
So,
Sorry.
do you have an opinion?
Well,
Power Rangers?
Ratings.
what about Power Rangers?
Oh, we're giving our rating.
Oh, 5 out of 10.
Oh, hey, oh boy, just like me. Hey, look. All right. All right. Are we done now?
Yeah.
All right. Is Tariq gonna go back to go back to drinking now? After this.
I think it's
I'm gonna
going
take-
back to unconsciousness, but
All right. That's it. All right. Look. That was season 2 of Dino Fury. Hey, hopefully next season with Cosmic Fury it's better. Look, they have 10 episodes. All right. There's 10 episodes in that they have. Look, they could probably condense everything and do it and not have as much filler as they want in those 10 episodes. You know.
they could.
Right.
These are all possibilities.
Mm-hmm. Right. All right. Okay. All right. That's it. All right. All right. Stay tuned next year at some point. We still don't know when the fuck Cosmic Fury is supposed to air, so
Stay tuned
I
at
can't
some
wait to
point.
I can't wait to figure out what we're gonna put as fillers until Cosmic Fury comes back on.
Wait, Austin. Shh. Hold on.
Okay.
Do you hear that?
I hope I heard it. I hope the audio caught it. You know. All right. That's yeah.
But
All right.
if you
That's
heard
it.
it, I'm sure it did. So.
Okay. I mean, that's how microphones work.
Yep.
All right. Coronavirus is still a thing. Wash hands, wear your mask, get your shots. Boosters a thing now. Okay. Thanks. Bye.